The shrill buzz of an impact wrench echoed through the worn-out walls of Grand Auto Repair, cutting through the midday silence. Tyler McRae wiped the grease from his hands with a rag that had long given up pretending to be clean. He was 24, lean, sharp-eyed, with calloused hands that moved like second nature under a hood. His gray t-shirt clung to his frame, stained with engine oil and the truth of hard work. Across the shop floor, a silver sedan idled on a lift, its hood gaping like a yawn. An older man stood beside it, looking like he had walked out of another time. His coat was faded, his jeans patched near the knees, and his wallet worn and beaten was clenched in shaky fingers. He had that dignified kind of presence some elders carried, the kind that asked for nothing more than fairness. "I just need the serpentine belt replaced," the man said softly, as if afraid his voice might crack. "I can pay some now and the rest when my Social Security check comes in next Friday." At the front counter stood the shop manager, Darren Lowe. Stocky, sunburnt, and always chewing on something gum or power. It didn't matter. Darren crossed his arms and leaned back. "That's not how this works, Gramps," he said. "We're not a soup kitchen. You want service, you pay up. All of it." Tyler, who had been cleaning tools a few feet away, paused. His jaw tightened. He'd been here 3 years. Long enough to know Darren's brand of management: truthless, loud, and always looking to squeeze the most out of every job. But this was unnecessary cruelty. "I'll do it," Tyler called out before he could talk himself down. The old man turned, surprised. "Son, I don't want you to get in trouble over me." Tyler shrugged. "It's a 15-minute job. I've wasted more time trying to fix a bad playlist." Darren snapped his gum. "You do that, and the cost comes out of your check." "Fine," Tyler said, already grabbing his tools. Darren scoffed, but didn't argue. Tyler had a stubborn streak that wasn't worth the energy to battle. What he didn't know, what nobody knew, was that the new guy sitting quietly in the waiting area, dressed in a faded jumpsuit and watching all of this unfold, wasn't just some new trainee. His name was Carter Grayson, and he was the owner. 10 years ago, Carter had bought out the Grand Auto chain from a mentor who'd taught him everything he knew about cars and character. At first, he ran it with energy and pride. But expansion changed things. Delegation became necessary. He trusted regional managers, shop foremen, and guys like Darren to keep things honest. But then complaints started showing up in his inbox. Too many to ignore. So he went undercover. Carter had no interest in press releases or warning memos. He wanted to see it with his own eyes. And right now, what he saw was a young mechanic doing the right thing without expecting anything in return. Tyler worked swiftly, swapping the belt in under 15 minutes. His fingers moved with muscle memory, not a single wasted motion. When it was done, he wiped his hands and turned to the older man. "You're good to go," he said, giving a nod toward the lot. The man's eyes glistened. "Son, I don't have words." Tyler offered a grin. "Good. Saves us both the awkwardness." The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled $5 bill. "Please. I know it's not much." Tyler shook his head. "Save it. Just drive safe, all right." As the man drove off, Carter sat back in the waiting chair, arms crossed. This wasn't just about a single kind act. This was about culture, about what had been allowed to fester while he looked the other way. He would not look away anymore. The day went on. Carter kept blending in, absorbing the shop's rhythm. He watched how Darren barked orders from behind the counter but never touched a wrench. How the other techs worked with tension in their shoulders. How customers hesitated when quoted prices that felt inflated. By late afternoon, a woman pulled in driving a forest green SUV. She looked mid-30s, nervous, holding her keys like a shield. Tyler was the first to approach her. "Afternoon. What's the issue?" She chewed her lip. "It makes this weird sound when I turn. Thought I should get it looked at." Before Tyler could respond, Darren slid into the scene like a shadow. $80 for an inspection. Non refundable. The woman's brows rose. 80 just to look at it. Policy, Darren said with a shrug. Tyler didn't say anything yet, but Carter noticed the way his hands balled into fists. "All right," she said finally. "I guess I have to know what's wrong." "Bay 4, Darren said, already turning away. Tyler popped the hood, asked her to turn the wheel back and forth, and listened. A few minutes later, he stepped back and wiped his hands. Power steering fluid's low. That's the noise. She sighed with visible relief. Oh, thank God. I thought it was serious. Nah, I could top it off for you. Give me a minute. But before he could reach for the bottle, Darren barked from behind him. That'll be a full flush. $150. Tyler turned. She doesn't need that. That's not your call, Darren snapped. We offer a full service or nothing. The woman's face fell. I can't afford that. Isn't there a cheaper option? Nope, Darren said. Tyler exhaled hard, then turned to the woman and said, There's an auto parts store down the road. Get a bottle of fluid. It's $5. Pop the hood and pour it in. That's all you need. Darren looked like he might explode. Are you out of your damn mind? Tyler didn't blink. I'm telling the truth. She whispered thank you and left, keys clenched tight. When she was gone, Darren was on Tyler in an instant. You trying to cost us customers now? I'm trying not to rob them, Tyler said flatly. Darren's voice dropped to a hiss. One more of your little stunts, and you're out of here. Carter had heard enough. He walked over, brushed his hands clean on his jumpsuit, and said, Something wrong? Darren waved him off. Just disciplining the help. You always discipline honesty? Darren squinted at him. Who are you? Carter's eyes locked on Tyler's. You always this straight with customers? Tyler hesitated. I try to be. Good, Carter said. Darren chuckled dryly. And what? You run ethics training now? No, Carter said, removing his cap. I run the company. Silence. A pin could have dropped and cracked the concrete. That's not funny, Darren said. Not a joke, Carter replied. Carter Grayson. I own Grand Auto. Darren paled. Wait as you've been here all day. All day. Carter turned to the woman who had just returned from the parts store, clearly confused but curious. We're giving you a refund, Carter told her. You never should have been quoted for something you didn't need. She nodded, stunned. Then he turned back to Darren. Pack your stuff. You're done. You can't just... I just did. Tyler stood frozen, processing. Carter turned to him. How long have you worked here? 3 years. You ever get promoted? No. Carter nodded. You just did. Tyler blinked. Wait, what? I need someone running this place who gives a damn. You up for that? The younger man hesitated, then slowly nodded. Carter smiled. Good. Finish your shift. We'll talk tomorrow. And just like that, everything changed. The next morning, Carter was already outside the shop with a clipboard when Tyler pulled in early, eyes still adjusting to the strange, new gravity of yesterday. You sleep? Carter asked. Barely, Tyler replied. Carter nodded. Let's get started. What followed was a full audit. Service records, part inventories, customer complaints. Carter dug through it all. With Tyler's help, they found hundreds of dollars in unjustified charges. Carter didn't hesitate. We refund every dime, he said. Even if it bankrupts us? Carter looked him dead in the eye. Especially if it does. I'd rather lose money than lose our name. That afternoon, Carter gathered the entire team. Rick's gone. If anyone here's been pushed to lie or upsell, now's the time to come clean. You'll be protected. But if I catch anyone running scams, this isn't the place for you anymore. Nobody moved, but everyone listened. When the crowd dispersed, Tyler stood beside him again. Think they'll step up? Some will, Carter said. The rest will wait to see if we're serious. Tyler looked at him. Are we? Carter nodded. To the bone. From that day forward, things at Grand Auto weren't just different. They were better. Tyler ran the shop with fairness, integrity, and a quiet kind of strength. Carter kept his promise. He stayed involved. He visited the other locations, fired 3 more managers, and installed new leads based on ethics, not efficiency. But it all began in one dusty garage, with one act of decency that refused to be silenced. And Carter never forgot that. Not for a single day after.